Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Let's Dig, the podcast. Today, we're going to talk about how to have a thriving relationship through eliminating regrets.
That was really good.
I do know that regrets is a big part of life.
It is.
I think so many people are so hard on themselves. They beat themselves up. They're always looking back. They're never looking ahead. They're always looking back about how they could have done things differently. So today we're going to talk about regrets. I do know that if we can actually eliminate regrets from our relationships, life can be a lot better.
True.
Right? We can focus on going forward. We can focus on healing versus going back to trying to repair. I heard a statement the other day. Actually, I posted it too, but I heard like someone else say it. Say every day you are either repairing yesterday or preparing tomorrow.
That's crazy.
Repairing yesterday has to do with regrets.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that, but let's tell them why we're here first.
We're here to help you grow a relationship with God, others, and yourself. That's why we call y'all the crew, the Let's Dig crew.
The crew. So if you're looking forward to this conversation right now, you're watching right now on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button. We want to know if you're ready for today's conversation. If you're listening to this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, all the other places, go ahead and write us a review. Reviews are very helpful. Why? Because it tells other people that this podcast is really good, and the algorithm is like, yo, let's push this podcast out. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can hit that little heart button too and send us a little bit of love. If this conversation has been blessing you, our last conversation has been blessing you, do not hesitate. Show some love as we've been showing you guys some love. You already see this hoodie that I'm rocking to right now.
So good. This
is the New Life Collection hoodie. Go ahead and hit that link. It's right there on YouTube. It's everywhere. It's on our Shopify. It's $45 right now. It's $45 right now. So don't delay. Don't delay. The price may go up based off of demand. So this right here, that's what it says. The 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17. This means that anyone who belongs to Christ is a new person. The old life is gone and the new life is here. You really want to see the back. You want to see the back. The back is actually the hottest part of the hoodie. And it's dope too. It feels really good. It's heavyweight. It's heavyweight. It's oversized too for all the people that are, this is a season where you're getting a little chunky.
Chunky? I thought you were going to say like chilly.
Chilly. If you are getting chilly or you're getting chunky,
wow,
this hoodie
that's
is
wild.
For you. But I'm ready to talk today.
All right, let's dig.
Let's dig.
All right. So we're talking about regrets today, and I regret has so much weight to it. Like they're heavy. And I know so many people have things that they've regretted. Like for me, and since we talked about it a long time ago, there's episodes back, we can link it. But one of the biggest regrets that I had in friendship was that I had a friend who the father of her children, her fiance, was abusive emotionally. But I never asked more than that. I never pushed in. I never kept asking questions. And I've told you, like, she might have lied. She might have not told me the truth. But the fact that I have to live with the regret that I never asked, and then that I ended up losing her to a murder-suicide, it has been a heavy weight for me to carry for 2 years. And I know January will make it 2 years since she's been gone. And I know that it has changed my way of relationships with people. It has changed. It took away a lot of the fear of like being afraid to get too close in questions or get too much in somebody's business. It took that fear away. So now I literally have friends and I'm like, hey, this can be uncomfortable, but
that's big.
Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Is this happening? Are you safe? It completely changed how I function in friendships because I've been carrying that regret, and I've had to let it go, of course, but I know regret affects so many people in different ways.
It does. Regret is funny too, because, most people don't realize in a moment that they're creating a memory of regret. I say this when it comes to us, even as parents, that every moment is a memory.
Yep.
Every moment is a memory.
Which is a terrifying concept to think about.
Yeah, because think about
it. It's heavy.
Yeah, because you're in a moment and it's happening right now. It's the present. You don't think it's nothing.
Yeah.
Right? A couple gets into a fight in the moment, whatever. They just go for the rest of the day. Later on, there's something that happens, something that's tragic, and they get a call, right? Somebody passes or someone's in an accident or someone's been hurt.
Yeah.
And right now, their mind goes back to the last moment that they were with. and regret starts to fill their heart. Regret starts to fill their mind. And I think moments are really big for us to really stop, learn, and ponder and think. And that's what causes regrets. I know for me, man, there was that one moment I was really hungry. I went to Taco Bell one night. That boy,
out?
The next morning I was, you want to talk about regret?
Regret?
That moment went to Taco Bell and I got too much. I got that Chalupa Supreme. I got 3 of them.
Every time we say the word regret, by the way, the meme like flashes in my head. Remember it went viral years ago and it was a person who had a tattoo that said no regrets. Because the person, the tattoo artist misspelled regrets. It like literally stays in my head all the time.
You know what, man? I was thinking about even parenting, right? We're thinking about regrets. I remember growing up, right? There were moments, my parents, we had moments where my dad was working a lot or he was on a phone call, right? Or there were moments where my mom wasn't giving us the attention that we wanted at that moment because it was too many.
Yeah.
Right. Or there were moments where I shared with my mom a story, a big fight that happened between me and my siblings growing up. And my mom, telling us like, I don't remember that. And a small moment that was for her was a big moment for me. Even her telling us stories of like, man, I regret or it hurts my heart that I whooped y'all so much.
Yeah.
She used to go in. I told that story that one time of the tennis rackets.
She was wild.
She was wild. And the toughest thing, she'd make you go get the thing she's gonna give you a whooping with.
Go get the switch.
I know nowadays all the people are really nervous. They're like, oh my gosh, they're talking about whooping their kids. Nowadays kids be like, I'll sue you, mom.
They're like,
touch me and I'll sue.
I'll sue you.
So remember I told you that story. Touch me and I'll sue. It's like, what? That's how you talk to your mom?
That's wild. Okay, so let's talk about some practicality things. What are some things that you do in your relationships, either with mine, with our kids, with friendships? What are some of the actual like practical things that you implement in your relationships so that you don't have regret?
Say that again. I wasn't listening to you.
Bro, but all the crew is listening. Just
everybody's
you're not
straight listening. I regret eating that cheese and jalapeno. The tamales we just had right now.
We did.
That thing is hot, and I don't have no water. And what are you drinking right now?
Like seltzer water.
Yeah. See, nah, I'm good, man.
You don't like the bubbles. Anyways, okay. I'm gonna ask the question again. You ready?
Yeah.
Are you focused?
I am focused.
Okay. What are some practical things that you implement in your relationships, whether it's with me, with the kids, with your friendships, that help you with not having regret?
Yeah. I think it's what I just said. It's really just learning to understand the moment.
Yeah.
It's if I had to take a moment and to have a outer body experience and actually stop and look at this moment 5 years from now, would I be satisfied with the moments that we created?
Yeah, I love that tool of just putting things in perspective. Like, does this matter in 5 years?
Yeah.
Like, if we're going to have a knockdown, drag out fight, are we having it about something that doesn't matter in 6 months, 2 years? Or is this something that will really, really impact us 5 years down the road? Okay, so then it's worth the big fight. But if it's not, then what are we doing?
Yeah, so true.
So I love that perspective of it. I think it's really helpful.
Yeah, I wrote down some thoughts even in this topic right here. I think one of the biggest things that we as people make a mistake is we always have this what if mindset. It's like,
totally.
What if? Remember how much that drives me crazy?
Yeah.
Of just like the pretentious or the superficial or the fantasizing sometimes drives me crazy. It's like, what if and I think there is a fine line sometimes between like fantasizing and dreaming.
Right.
Like if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think fantasizing sometimes could be like you're thinking of something that might be impossible or something that's not realistic or something that will never happen. Right. Or cannot even happen. It's not even possible. What if we were in space and we can just not have to have a space mask on and just be able to breathe the air out there? It's like,
nobody talks like that.
But that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes people spend their time
thinking about things that will
thinking
not
about
happen.
stuff that doesn't matter and losing out on the actual moment right there in front of you, and you're creating memories right there.
Yeah.
Like being very optimistic in this moment right now. So even for us, there were times where we had holidays where we didn't have money.
Right.
And it's like, man, what if we had ba 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 ba?
Yeah.
What if we had this? What? And I'm like, yo, we don't have that right now. So we need to be optimistic and use what we have right now versus being paralyzed by dreaming and fantasizing of stuff that will never happen. And you look back and regret that we didn't make the most out of the moment that we had.
I think the biggest thing of what we're saying about regret is that it is actually what you choose with doing in the present that will affect you in the future.
Yeah.
Like, so literally taking that moment of, because there's no way to fix regret you have in the past. It's done. It is what it is.
Yeah.
The only way that I can lessen my experience with regret is that I take every moment to be intentional so that in 6 months, I don't have regret.
Yeah.
You literally just have to pause everything. It's like what we said. Does it matter in 5 years? What is happening right now? Stop thinking of the what ifs. What is happening, not what if.
Yeah.
And then by making those decisions, it can lessen how often I run into regret.
Yeah. I don't know if I told you this story, which I may have told you this story. So back when we were pursuing each other, liking each other, crushing on each other, and we weren't officially dating.
Yeah.
Right. I think you know, right? There was like 2-3 other girls.
People are tripping out right now that you keep saying that. They're like, what does she not know after being married for 15 years?
Yeah, I think you know. I think you know everything. So I'm like, I'm sure you know all this. Actually, yes, you do know this because we've talked about this in previous episodes.
But you keep saying that, so people are nervous about what you're about to drop on me right now.
Is it people or is it you? I feel like you projecting.
Nah, I'm good.
Okay, so
I know what you're about to say.
Okay, so there was one of the girls that I was talking to at the same time, trying to figure out, okay, which one of these girls that I like.
Right.
And I remember when I knew, okay, you were the one that I wanted to pursue. Like one of the girls was kind of like contender head to head, like you guys were toe to toe. I was like, man, which one? I don't know, pros and cons. You know. Anyways, when I knew that you were the one that I want to pursue, I just completely stopped calling that girl.
Right.
Straight up went cold turkey. And in that moment, it meant nothing.
Right.
In that moment, it was easy. In that moment, it was just like, okay, whatever.
Right.
Fast forward years later, regret started to fill my heart. Regret started to fill my mind and my emotions. I actually started feeling sympathy. I felt bad for that girl of just like, oh my gosh, what have I done?
Right.
That's regret.
Right.
And I remember for a long season, just always feeling and dealing with it like, yo, how do I fix this? How do I mend this? Every once in a while, I'll go on her social media and I'm like, man, I don't know. It doesn't look like she's doing it. I can't tell.
Right.
But I remember one time finally calling her and saying like, hey, if I ever done anything, like I want to say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm aware that time we were talking, like we were talking to each other and I just went straight cold turkey on you. And it's been hurting me and crushing me this whole time with regret. Cause I'm like, yo, I would never want someone to do this to my kids. And I didn't have kids at that time.
Right.
But thinking about fast forwarding, like, yo, a couple years from now, will I look back saying like, man, I wish I never did that. Because in that moment, it felt like it was nothing. And I think people need to learn how to stop and slow down and really think about their decisions that they're making of like years down the road. Will this affect this relationship?
Right.
Am I scarring this person? Am I in this moment creating a deep memory that will scar them? And then the moment you find out, or moment it comes back to you, as resurfaces back in your mind, now you start dealing with the regret, like, yo, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I said that. I can't believe I treated someone like this. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of it too is just making sure that we know our values and our, I don't want to say the word truths because that's so taboo, but our values, our core values, our beliefs, and like who we are, and not lowering those, not losing those. A lot of times we get in relationships, sometimes we will lose those things about us. And those come with a lot of regrets. You get into a relationship and you start letting those things kind of waver a little bit. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you've been in a relationship for 2 years and you're like, wait, I never wanted to be here. It's because you lost your values at the beginning of this relationship. You thought it was so worth it. Yeah. You thought you were going to date this person and it was going to be worth everything. And 2 years down the road, you're like, man, these aren't my values. this isn't who I am. This isn't who I was raised to be.
Yeah.
And now I'm sitting here with regret. But as you walk through life and you meet new people and you get into new circles, you start a new job, you go to a new church, like whatever that may look like, don't forget who you are and who your identity is in and what your values are and what matter to you. Like as soon as we lose them, we lose ourselves. And I think that is a huge way to keep from having regret in relationships and in life.
Yeah, that's big, man. Even for us in our relationship, us being married for 14, going on 15 years, known each other for what? I think 18 years ago we might have met. 17
or 18.
17 years we might have met. January will make it 18, I believe.
So weird.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, why do we?
We're not that old.
We're not even that old. Like,
we're not.
How did what?
It's wild.
But I know there were times where we've had conversations and even was arguing or fighting. And there was regretful words that came out of our mouths.
Yep.
I remember there were times where we've had conversations and just in that moment, right, pride kicks in to where you can just talk to your partner however you feel like you want to talk to them.
Right.
And then later on, you have to figure out, man, I have to go back and repair that, or I have to go back and actually say sorry. And I think people really need to learn how to slow down.
Yeah.
Like really, really think about, okay, my interactions with the people that I'm in relationship with, whether it's a coworker, whether it's my boss, whether it's my partner, whether it's my kids, siblings, like whatever it is. Like, man, like really slow down. All the words that are you saying right now? Do you feel like it's building this relationship? Do you feel like it's cultivating something that's strong? Or do you feel like down the road, you're going to have to go back and repair?
Yeah.
I've said some stupid stuff in the last couple of years to people that I've had relationships with where I've actually had to apologize.
Yeah.
Especially even growing up, bro. Like I was just that type of person that just like, if I thought it, I said it.
Yeah.
And being immature, you kind of think like, yeah, man, that's real, man. People like that. Then you start realizing like, yo, no, it's actually immature.
Right.
And you're ruining all of your relationships by just saying everything that you're thinking.
Oof, Lord.
You know what I mean?
It can get you in so much trouble.
It can.
And honestly, I feel like that can get you in trouble. What can get you out of trouble a lot is asking questions.
Yeah.
Like if you would just stop and ask a question, if you would stop and just say, actually, I don't know, what is that? Or why did that make you feel that way? Or how did that make you feel? What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
How can I do that better next time?
Yeah.
Like if you just ask a freaking question, it'll get you really far in life.
That's true.
Especially husbands.
That's true.
Just ask a question, y'all. But don't ask the one that you always ask.
What's the one I always ask?
Pierre asks, what do you need from me? But he asks it like so quickly that I'm like, I'm still mad at you. I'm not ready to, like, it drives me crazy. It's a great question for relationships, but.
Well, yeah, I feel like you need something. I feel like you needed something from me.
Sometimes, usually I do, but I'm just not ready to resolve yet.
Oh, you'd like to sit in it.
I just have frustration. I feel like you say it too quickly where I'm like, wait, no, we're still fighting. I'm not ready to move on yet.
Because to me, I'm like, I'm ready to move on. I'm ready literally to keep going ahead. And you know what happens too? What you do is you'll get mad at me and you'll stay mad at me, but I'm good. I already apologized and I moved on. And the next day we be in bed and you trying to slide your little crusted feet under the sheets to kind of cuddle my feet. Because you're like,
they're not crusty.
I know they're not crusty. I just got to say it because it sounds funnier. All right. You be sliding your little scary, crusty feet under the sheet to try to tell me you're sorry. And then that's when I play hard to get. Because I'm like, nope, we were supposed to do this.
Talk about
now
it.
You're trying to repair yesterday.
Bruh.
Now you're trying to repair.
You're out of control.
Bro, I'm reading another note. So another note really when it comes to eliminating regrets is acting on your convictions. Acting on your convictions, meaning like if you know deep down inside that something's not right, if you know there's something that is happening that you know you should stand up for, that you should actually say something about it and you don't, you're going to have regret, especially in your relationships. There's been times me and you, babe.
Yeah.
I've had to like, babe, I'm just going to say this as your husband. Like I'm saying it in the most gentle, loving way. But if I don't say it, I'm going to regret this.
Yeah.
And for me, I think, yo, if we're in a good relationship, you should honor and respect that. That I'm like, I have a conviction right now in my heart that if I don't say something, I'm gonna be in a regretful state of mind.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that. I think procrastinating, like delaying your decisions can sometimes lead to regret for missed opportunities.
Say that again.
So delaying your decisions can sometimes lead to regret for missed opportunities. Meaning, you know what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You know what you should have said. You see it happening. The moment is right there in front of you and you delayed it. You pushed it off.
Yeah.
And the opportunity is now gone.
Yeah.
And what do you have that tomorrow? Regret.
Regret. That's so true. Don't miss that window.
That window closes so fast, and the whole day you're like, man, it's like, yo, it's like you get into a big fight like with somebody, and the next day you're like, man, like you're replaying the whole fight, and you got all these punchlines,
all the things to say.
I'm like, bro, that dude is on the airplane. He's gone. He's in a whole nother country. He don't remember who you are anymore. You so mad at that person that honked at you and gave you a certain finger at the red light, and you got, man, I would have done this. Next time I'm gonna roll down my window. I'm gonna wave. I'm like, bro, it's gone.
It's gone. The moment is gone.
Accept it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm making light of it. This is silly, right? It's a silly example, but I really do think in a lot of relationships, there's a lot of people that miss opportunities to actually say something that they should be standing up for.
Yeah.
And it causes regret.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Found this scripture, Proverbs 17:17. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for a time of adversity. And I love that. It's like, man, friends are friends and they're cool.
Yeah.
But like when you've gone through adversity with someone, it's a deeper relationship than just a friendship. It becomes family. It becomes
That's big.
like, man, you know, you saw me my weakness. You were there for me when I had a rough season, or you walked with me through some dark stuff. And I mean, those people, they're priceless in our life, especially because we don't live around any family.
Yeah.
When I have friends that feel like family, I will do anything for them. I will be so thankful and sentimental and cry because I'm just so grateful that God has sent friends our way that have walked through so much with us that they actually became family.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. What are some things that you guys really deal with in your life where you're really struggling with regret? What are some things that you have not let go of yet? Because I really do think that regret, and I say it all the time, it's a big cancer.
Yeah.
Like sometimes there's no cure for it. You know, like cancer, right? Allegedly, there's no cure for it.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry. You guys know me. I'm a conspiracy theorist.
He does like this.
And I'm like, there's a lot of money that go into this. They can't find a cure for this thing. It hurts me when we know people that are dealing with cancer.
Yeah.
But this is not what this is about. This is about regret. Regret can be a cancer where there's no cure for it. And I do know that the biggest cure for it is Jesus.
Yeah.
It's the Holy Spirit. Is God looking down on you, breathing on you, calling you daughter, calling you son. And he's not beating you up. I think people beat themselves up so hard. Like our son, he's been dealing with that right now.
Yeah.
Like where he gets so mad at something that he's like, oh, I'm so stupid, or I can't never get it right, or I hate myself. I'm just like, bro, stop talking to yourself like that.
Yeah.
Because he regrets something that he did.
Yeah.
Or he's so hard on himself because he's like, I should have known. Or what if, Daddy, how come, like the other day, big old breakout in the car because he forgot something.
Yeah.
And he's literally like hitting himself, beating himself up. And I'm having a son, it's okay. It's not a big deal. Let it go.
Right.
It's in the past. Move forward.
Yeah.
Focus
There's
on tomorrow. You do not want to fart on the rest of the day. Fart on the rest of it, poop on the rest of the day, right? Meaning you had one bad mistake.
Right.
Screw the whole rest of the day.
Yeah.
Screw my life. Screw the future. I'm like, no, you can still actually prepare for tomorrow and do better.
Yeah.
Just if you're living on regret, the whole time you're thinking about how you could have, should have, and would have.
A lot of that is layered in forgiveness too.
Yeah. Forgiveness
to the person, forgiveness to myself, forgiveness that, I messed up, but I won't mess that up again.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel a lot about my friend. Like I messed up. I didn't get in her mess enough. I didn't ask the hard questions enough, but I will not do that again. I've had women come to me and share things with me, and I do not hold back those answers because I will not lose another friend. and have regret that I didn't ask enough questions or that I didn't get in their business or I didn't want to imply that they were being hurt by their spouse. Nope, don't care. I do not care about that spouse. I care about my friend. And I'll ask the hard questions. And so like forgiving myself and forgiving yourself for what you do have regret about, but just knowing like sometimes the last time has to be the last time. That's going to be the last time. Yeah,
man. Let's get the last note that I want to share when it comes to how to have thriving relationships by eliminating regrets is seek wisdom.
Yeah.
Like consult in trusted advisors, like discuss your decisions with your mentors, with your families, like with your friends who share your same value. Trusted advisors, like people that you look to, people that you're like, hey, I made a decision, or hey, what do you think about this? Like, hey, what's your thoughts? What's your thought process?
And only people that are ahead of you and where you want to be. Like we've talked about that. Like single people do not get to speak into my marriage. I do not ask them questions about what I should do or what I should. Nope, you don't get to speak. I'm only going to ask that of someone, even if it's another married person. If I don't like their marriage, I'm not asking them either. It's only someone that I look to that they have something I would want or would want to build. Those are the people that I can ask those questions to.
It's like getting advice from the people who have successfully made it or thrived in the area you want to thrive in.
Right.
Everyone's not an expert in every category. Now, I will say for us that are believers, that are filled with the Holy Spirit, that Spirit of God does give us spiritual wisdom and knowledge and understanding, wisdom that passes humanly understanding. And there's times that I know that God has put wisdom in me in a topic that I know nothing of, but it's like, yo, how do I know this stuff? Right. Because I know it's supernatural wisdom. So there's that, right? The spiritual world has different type of laws.
Right.
Like if that makes sense. Right here in the world, we're like, you'll find that person that has won in that category and learn from them. Right. But in the spiritual world, right, the Spirit of God can give us wisdom and understanding instantly right away. That no man can teach you. So there's that, right? So there's using discernment when it comes to seeking wisdom, but in a practical, natural way. Like you said, if somebody is single, don't ask them what they think about your marriage.
Right.
Right. If someone is broke, don't ask them what you should do with your money. Right. If someone don't have kids, don't ask them what you should do with your kids.
Right.
Right. If someone ain't got a job, don't ask them if you should quit your job or not. Of course they're going to say yes.
Don't ask them.
Of course they're going to say yes. They ain't got no job. It's probably the same person that ain't got no money, ain't married, ain't got no, like all the above.
Totally.
You know, they'll tell you, well, here's what I would do if I were you. I actually see what you've done. Like, so that's what I'm saying. So be intentional about the people that you seek wisdom in so that you're not living a regretful life. Lastly, in this whole category of seeking wisdom, pray. Learn to pray. And the second half of that is learn to reflect, or I call it meditate.
But what does that mean? Because there's a lot of definitions for meditating.
So also, I'm not talking about yoga and all this other weird stuff and seeking the stars and breathing the air and grounding yourself with the floor. I ain't talking about grounding yourself with the floor. I'm talking about seeking God and meditating on his word day and night. That's what the Bible says. So for us, when it comes time to making a decision, even our relationship, there's times, I see you panicking or you're anxious about something. And I'm literally praying to God, give me wisdom right now on how to talk to my wife. Because I don't know what time of the month it is right now. I don't know if she's going to be tripping and she's going to flip on me right now.
Listen
it's what?
Eve's fault. It's Eve's fault, y'all.
Don't they have stuff for that?
No. If they did, every marriage would be healthy and fine.
All right. All I'm saying is there has been times that I have regretted the way I approached you. And I approach you. All right, slow down. Call off your dogs.
I'm just joking. I've the same. I have done wrong as well.
I regret how I've approached you with lack of sensitivity. And now that I've matured spiritually, whenever there's times where I see you acting up or flipping out, or I see your eyes start twitching and she's about to come for me.
I'm not acting out and flipping out.
I start praying. I said, Lord, I need you, Father, to be a hedge of protection around me right now. I command an army of angels to come and push back this woman from me.
I am
not darkness.
So done with you.
But I'm saying is like, people need to learn how to pray. If you learn how to pray, you learn how to seek God. There'll be times where you will not have to deal with regret. And then lastly, learn how to meditate, learn how to reflect, learn how to stop and ponder and think about how you've made your decisions. Think about the ripple effect of decisions that you've made. If people can learn how to meditate and literally stop. We say it all the time, bro, stop and just think about it. To our kids, we say, think. Think
Use
about
your
the decisions
brain.
that you're
so
making.
Smart.
There's a domino effect. Every time you get emotional, now you make emotional decisions and you can ruin the rest of your day because you're just out of your mind right now.
So true.
You know what I'm saying?
And you can poop on the rest of your day.
Poop on the rest of your day.
Also, low-key, that was a really great tip of saying that you pray when you see me emotional. You pray that the Lord helps you know how to respond to me. That's
all the
amazing.
Time. I did last night.
Good. When last night?
And this morning at the table.
What are you talking
this
about?
This morning right now at the table, you was, yes. It's like, Father God, help me. Help me tame these lips right now.
Good. I'm glad. I'm thankful. And we're both a work in progress.
And look at us. We good right now.
We happy, y'all. It was good. No, but it's true. It's growth on both sides. It's growth on me learning how to control my emotions. It's growth on you learning how to approach my emotions. And no, if there was a pill that could fix all of that, like the world would be an easier place.
If you guys know medication that they have for this, go ahead and drop in this chat, drop in this YouTube link.
There's no pills. You guys are crazy. Yeah. Anyways, so we hope that this has been a healthy conversation, a thought-provoking conversation, and that you really learn to think differently as you approach your relationships, as you approach life, and that you would slow down in those moments. Don't go so fast. Slow down and think about those things that we told you. Does it matter in 5 years? Don't think about the what ifs. Think about what is. And all the other things that we said, pray. We said meditate on God's word. All of these things will help alleviate regret in your life. Will regret still creep in? Of course, because that's part of maturity, right? There's some things that even if we prayed, even if we did all of these things, as we mature 10 years later, we're like, man, we didn't know nothing. And we could say that a lot about our marriage. So that is a part of life. But if we take these steps, regret can be less often. Regret can be not as painful. And if we forgive ourselves, we won't have to carry that weight long term. So we love y'all. We hope you found this conversation helpful. Write us in our comments. We love hearing from you guys. So many people tell us, oh, I love this episode. I love that. That really helped me. I was just going through that. So write it underneath so that other people know that this conversation helped you and helped you grow. We love y'all. Thank you for being part of the crew. We'll see you next time. Peace.